Hey guys, and welcome back to War Thunder. It is KrebsCOHO here in the 1.53 dev server, taking a look at the brand new rocket vehicles that have been added to the game. In fact, 3 of them have been added, and the first thing that I noticed is that they're all behind a paywall, meaning you have to unlock them by spending golden eagles, and I imagine they did this in order to limit the amount of them on the battlefield because, well, if there was tons and just rockets flying around, and that would be absolutely mental. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I was using this M26 here, which comes out at battle rating 6.7, is just how inaccurate these rockets actually are. First off, you have an ammo or a rocket rack on each side of the turret, one on the left, one on the right. It's hard to actually figure out where the rockets are going to come from because it almost seems random to the uninitiated, left and right, left and right. But what happens is that they go out in rows. Firstly, the one on one side and then the one on the other side, row by row by row. But it can still be kind of confusing, especially when you're in sights, because the rows alternate on how much is in each row. One row has 4 rockets, the next has 3, the next has 4, and it's hard to actually remember how many there are when you're looking down in the sights. So I wanted to see how much damage these rockets could actually do against the opponents, and killing anything up to a Panther D was absolutely fine. They blew up. But now taking on something more akin to my battle rating, like the Tiger 2 over here, well, it's just not doing anything from the front and even from the side. So it makes me question just how effective these rockets will actually be at higher tiers, especially for the M26 here, which comes out at its battle rating of 6.7. I imagine it's only really going to be effective against lighter armed targets, or maybe if you manage to somehow damage an enemy vehicle from behind. Now, the next vehicle is the BM-8-24, which comes out at a battle rating of 2.3. It seems to be a rocket-mounted T-60, so no turret whatsoever. It looks so alien almost. And this one is just completely different from the Calliope and the M26 because its only armament is the rockets on top of the tank. So rather than using a separate button to use the rockets like R or 4 or whatever hotkey you have it set to, you just press the left mouse button. And I wanted to see how effective these rockets actually were against opponents, but it met the same limitations. Coming up against this Tiger, it just was doing no damage whatsoever. So it seems like rockets have limitations on how much damage, and again, putting emphasis on the M26's rockets, how effective are those actually going to be? But also, it's kind of difficult to aim these rockets, especially at longer distances, and that's not that surprising because historically rockets were inaccurate. But I would highly recommend that guys should add in maybe a separate sight to compensate for, you know, the drop and whatnot for these rockets, because especially when you're using ones like that BM vehicle that we were using just now, I mean, that's your only armament. You need to be able to hit those rockets, right? And last but not least is the Panzerwerfer over here, and just listen to the sound of these things. Wow. Wow, it sounds amazing. But another thing that I noticed with these vehicles is, especially the ones that have dedicated rockets on them, in order to reload them, they can actually reload by themselves. Whereas the ones like the M26 and the Calliope, because the rockets are kind of like a secondary weapon, they're not the main armament. In order to reload them, you have to get on like a cap circle and reload them that way. So those are the vehicles that have been added to the game, the rocket vehicles anyway, and they're all very, very expensive to purchase, but as I said, probably intentional in order to limit the amount of them on the battlefield. They have their limitations, most definitely, but they can do a lot of damage. Just the only concerning thing is just how accurate they are, since, well, you have to aim them by yourselves, but also just how much damage they do at higher tier. It seems almost it does nothing. So is the M26 even going to be viable? We'll have to find out. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. What are your thoughts and impressions on these new rocket vehicles? Feel free to leave that comment in the comment box below. But thank you very much for watching. And until the next one, this is Krebs, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Now we blasting off into the ozone. The way we kick it in the dojo is local for show, though we paving the road that's opposed to the door.